races.
Yeah, it does, but it shows that we are not there where we want to be. You know, we still have to push hard and catch up because at the moment we are a little bit slower. But still, nevertheless, compared to last year, I think it's been a big jump forwards.
Yes, because we'd had that slow stop, we thought that they would, they'd immediately take that next lap. Obviously, they didn't. We got back the track position, but they just looked like they got a quicker car.
But mate, I'm racing with Lewis behind me, trying to keep up with him, with his pace.
Replay of Hungary from a couple of years ago. So, but no, look, congratulations, you guys had a quicker car than us in the race today. You could see how close Lewis could follow, Max. So yeah, made it interesting.
Yeah, I agree with that because I think here in Barcelona, it's a difficult place to pass. I thought, the Red Bulls and the Mercedes were equally matched in the race. Before the race started, that's what I thought, that they were going to have equal pace. So in my perspective, I was like, whoever takes the lead from the first lap, so the start's extremely important, whoever takes the lead is going to be able to control the race. And that wasn't the case. I mean, Verstappen took the lead and then Hamilton was behind him, and he was able to stick there for a long time. And when you're able to follow the car for that long, within a second, 1.5 seconds, you know that the car's pace is good, because usually you can't. You wear out the tire, then you start dropping off. You go from 1 second to a second and a half, 2 seconds, and then you can't stick. But Hamilton was able to, and then he was just able to overtake him at the end of the race.
Fascinating. It looked like it was going to be a one-stop race.
You see, I've been saying this since Bahrain. The 3 weeks that Mercedes had off was in their favour. When they came back to Imola, the second race of the season, when they started their race at Imola, I told you geeks, and I know there's some people in the comment section that agree with me. I hear ya, I see ya. But for the geeks what don't believe me, what did I tell ya? I said that the Mercedes have the fastest car.
Silence!
But they didn't want to listen. Nah. They didn't want to listen. They wanted to jump on the Max Verstappen train. Max Verstappen's the best driver. Max Verstappen's got the fastest car. Red Bull's got the fastest car. Really? They said that the Mercedes car can't follow closely. After 2 laps, the overheats and it's over. That's what I thought as well. I actually thought that before the race. Because we all know Mercedes always have problems following the car. But I always knew that the car was faster. After Bahrain, see Bahrain, Red Bull, faster. Yep, I'll give it you. I'll give you that one. And I've actually said that if we look on all my videos of this season. So if you think I'm chatting shit, yeah, go on my videos and you'll see the beginning of the season, what I've been saying. But I said it as soon as Imola started. I don't care if Hamilton ended up in the gravel. Don't care. If you look at the time before, even when he had a damaged floor, he was gaining on Max Verstappen very, very quickly. And I said, that's it, they've got the fastest car. TOTO called it after the race. He said, I'm happy with our speed. I know we didn't get P1, but I'm happy with our speed and where we've come since 3 weeks ago. I told everybody that the Mercedes have the fastest car. But before this video, I just went through some random tweets. I had some geeks that I don't even know who they are. Some geeks. They must watch my channel because they know what I'm saying. They come and said, oh, Lewis hasn't got the fastest car. No. What Max needs to do now to beat Lewis, he needs to speak to his team more. He needs to take control of the team. He needs to start using the radio as a weapon. These are the geeks now. This is all they've got. They went from Max has got the fastest car, Max is the best driver. Now, Hamilton has ticked, and Mercedes have ticked all their boxes. Tick, tick. And now all they got left is, oh, Max needs to take control of the team. He needs to take control of the team and get his pit strategy right. then he'll beat Lewis Hamilton. Is that all you got, geeks? Is that all you got? Listen, geeks. This is straight from Max Verstappen's mouth, which you heard previous before this, the audio. That is straight from Max Verstappen's mouth and Christian Horner's mouth. The only mouth what matter in Red Bull. They said that Lewis Hamilton, they said Mercedes, we've got the fastest car. We've still made improvements to the car. We've still made improvements, but they've still got the fastest car. That's it. Very clear English. So all the stuff that you're trying to text me and email, not text me, email me, Twitter me, Instagram, YouTube, all the messages that you're trying to convince me, not gonna work. You dummies. I said it clear English. You heard it from Max. You heard it from Christian Horner. Mercedes have got the fastest car. And Fittipaldi brothers, he said at the beginning of the race, he said at the end of the race, when he saw the start of the race, he said, you know what? I never thought that Mercedes could follow a car like that. He thought when Red Bull spun off, when Red Bull went in front, Max Verstappen, and Lewis started chasing him, he thought after 3 laps, Max would get away from Lewis because the Mercedes car can't follow another car. That's what I thought as well. But what happened? He was so surprised that Lewis Hamilton had the speed that he had, what the Mercedes had as well. He couldn't believe the speed of the Mercedes, that he could follow the car that closely, and he probably knew then what was going to happen, and he knew then they had the fastest car. So there you go, dummies. There you go, dummies. Straight from the horse's mouth. Now what you going to say? What you going to say? You're going to come on my channel, you're going to say to me, oh, but you're wrong, Max is still better. Prove it, geeks. Prove it. And you know what? I've got it up here on my channel. Driver of the day. Driver of the day. Whatever, man. Driver of the day. I've put it up there. He got driver of the day. He should have got driver of the day multiple times. He should have got driver of the day last week. He should have got driver of the day in Imola, but he never got it. But he got driver of the day today. It was neck and neck between him and Max Verstappen. I was thinking, you know what? He ain't going to get driver of the day, but he got it. He got it. They couldn't deny Lewis Hamilton driver of the day. And does it mean anything really? I don't really give a shit. I just wanted to put it up there to say he got a driver today, because most likely he won't get it again. He'll get it probably at Silverstone, but after that, they ain't going to give him again. They'll give it to some geek. But Lewis Hamilton, driver of the day. Lewis Hamilton equaled Michael Schumacher's record for 6 wins here. 6 or 7 wins here. 6 wins. It's equaled Ayrton Senna for 5 race wins at a single track in a row. 5. Senna done it at Monaco. Lewis done it here. Very simple. So there's more records he's breaking. He's ticking off his little checklist. Ticking off. And you geeks are going to watch. You geeks are going to watch F1 this season, and you will see what's going to happen. You will see. The doubt is already creeping into Max Verstappen. He looked like a kid who lost his sweets at the playground. He looks like he lost his sweets. Lost his money. Lost his pocket money. The geek. The geek moron. That's what Max Verstappen, he can see now, he's deflated. He says, oh no, we ain't got the fastest car. I'm surprised. We need more work. Of course you need more work. Christian Horner admitted it. They had the fastest car. They've got the fastest car. So there's nothing you really can say now, geeks. There's nothing you can say. So what do you want now? Do you want Max Verstappen to buy the Red Bull team, to take control, and he be the strategist as well? So what it is now, that's what you're saying? You want him to become a strategist, you want him to be a strategist, engineer, mechanic, and driver. That's what he's going to do to beat Lewis Hamilton. Listen, geeks, it's never going to happen. Alright, I'm not saying he's not going to. I'm not going to say Lewis is going to win every race today. Every race this season. I'm not saying that. But you can see now the gap opening up. Slowly. And then what did I say yesterday on my qualifying video? What did I say in simple English on my qualifying video? Very simple. I said, soon as Lewis Hamilton starts edging away in the points, edging away, The doubt's going to kick in into Max Verstappen's head. Frustration's going to kick in. And then, as soon as that happens, it's over. And that's what I'm waiting for. And I want to see the excuses online. I love seeing the excuses online by all the geeks. All the fucking whining geeks. I love seeing all them excuses. See, when I'm wrong, I admit it. I'm the first person to come out and admit it. Always. If I say something before a race and it doesn't happen, I'll come out on my channel and I'll say I was wrong every time. But the geeks, the Lewis Hamilton haters, just can't admit it. That's what makes you funny. Very, very hilarious. So there we go. Lewis Hamilton, driver of the day. Don't think he really gives a shit about drivers of the day, to be fair. I don't think he does. But let's get in to the F1 review. This is Solo P1 and welcome to the 2021 Spanish Grand Prix race day review. So, the review starting. Lights out and away we go. Lights out and away we go. The way Crafty does it week in and week out. So, Max gets an amazing start. I've got to give it him. What a start he got, Max Verstappen. He has improved his start so much since last season. That's one thing I know he was working on, his start, because that's where he used to come up short a couple of seasons. Last season, 2018 and 19 and 20, he used to come up short. 18, he didn't really have a realistic chance of winning the title. But 19 and 20, his starts were not that good. But this season, his starts have been amazing. He's proved it in the wet at Imola, and he's proved it here. He's got an amazing start, and he's worked on his start. Maybe that's what Lewis Hamilton needs to work on. I think that's his weakness of his game at the moment, which he needs to brush up on. He needs to brush up on his starts, because Lewis Hamilton is usually a brilliant starter, but the last couple of races, he's come up short with his race start. So, Max gets a great start. It was neck and neck with Lewis Hamilton going into the turn one. For some reason, Lewis Hamilton he didn't cut off the inside line. This is the basic go-karting rule. If you're in front, you cover that line, and if the other driver's faster, you let him go around you. Very simple. That is basic driving. That goes back to the karting days. You cover your line and you let the guy go around you. Okay? But in this scenario, Lewis Hamilton never done that. Lewis Hamilton left the door open. Max says, oh, okay, nice one. Boom, went in front of him. And I thought, you know what? I don't know what's going on there. They touched a little bit. But I was very surprised to see Lewis Hamilton do that. I'm not sure if that was the game plan. I don't think it was a game plan. I don't think a game plan is going to include letting the other guy pass you first for strategy. No. But Lewis Hamilton, he left the door open. And then when it was too late, he tried to squeeze off Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen is the daredevil he's going to go for everything. He's going to go for every gap. There's one thing I say about Max Verstappen. He's going to go for every gap. He went straight down the line. They went wheel to wheel. They nudged a little bit, but he was only a racing incident. It didn't even go to the stewards. And yeah, Max passed him, and Lewis wobbled a bit. Bottas was just behind him, and I saw Bottas in third place. He was doing good at the beginning, Bottas, in the first turn, but he pulled out a bit because he didn't want to crash into Lewis Hamilton. That compromised his first corner, and then that opened the gap for Charles Leclerc, who was in fourth place, and he passed Bottas. So that was the start of the race. And at the beginning, I thought, you know what, Max Verstappen, another great start. Congratulations to Max Verstappen. He worked on his start. Hats off to him, and that's it. So a couple of races in, no, a couple, 8 laps in, everything was going on smooth. Hamilton was following Max Verstappen. I thought a few more laps he's going to overheat, because prior to the race, before the race, we all know Mercedes not good at following cars. We know the tyres overheat. We know that brakes overheat, and then now and again they have to back out because the car is not used to following other cars. Mercedes is the car likes to be out front. Once it's out in front, it controls the pace and they can pull away. That's what Mercedes car is designed for, to be out front. It's not designed to follow another car. 8th lap, it was still keeping behind Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen was just doing enough just to eke out the time so Lewis Hamilton didn't get in DRS. And if he did get in DRS, Max Verstappen was managing the pace. But I was surprised that lap 8 that Lewis Hamilton was still that close to Max Verstappen, being the way Mercedes car is. So, still in lap 8, Tsunoda. There you go. Bad luck continues. Continues from the Sky Sports commentators who Simon Lazenby wanted to adopt Tsunoda on day one. Comes into F1 day one. First race. Because he enjoyed himself. Tsunoda done some commentary. I don't know what he said. And Simon Lazenby says, I want to adopt him. I want him to be my new son, Tsunoda. I want him on the commentary box with me. I want to talk to him. I really love him. Him and Paul di Resta. So what happened? Soon as that happened, the curse kicked in. The Sky Sports commentary curse kicked in. Ever since then, the guy can't finish a qualifying. And now, the bad luck continues. Lap 8, what happened to his car? It completely stopped. Just like that. Stopped. Now, that goes back to my point I said at the beginning. Red Bull got a brilliant car. Good engine. But is that engine gonna hold up for the rest of the season? Because we all know this is the longest F1 season. And will the car be able to hold up for the rest of this season? Because Tsunoda's car broke down, and that's got a Honda engine. That's a Red Bull engine in there, Honda. So, will the Red Bull car be able to hold out for the rest of the season? And with Tsunoda breaking down, it's not looking good. That's just my opinion. That's one thing I say about Mercedes. You cannot beat Mercedes for reliability. You ain't gonna win no title. You ain't gonna win no championship if your engine keeps breaking down. You can have the fastest driver. I don't care who you got in there. I don't care if you got Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna, Lewis Hamilton, all rolled into one. You're still not gonna win the title if your car is gonna break down. It's not gonna happen. And Tsunoda broke down. Out of the race, lap 8. Who'd ever thought, the beginning of the season, they were so good. AlphaTauri, brilliant. And now look now. He was the star of the moment, Tsunoda. Sky Sports put the big mouth on it, the curse. What happened? Gone. So, Alfa Romeo pits. Antonio Giovinazzi, whatever he's now. Oh, botched his name, but who cares anyway. He pits. There was a delay in the pits for 60 seconds. Some geek who's supposed to put the rear tyre on starts stumbling over like this with the tyre. It took him 2 minutes to get from the garage to the car. They put on Kimi's tyres and they thought, hold on, we ain't got the wrong tyres on here. He had to go double back to the garage. The guy was panting. Came back to the pits and then put the tyre on. And he was in the tyre. He was in the he was in the pit for 50 seconds. They get to bye Antonio. There goes your race. Right, so lap 10. Safety car was ending because Tsunoda's car broke down on lap 8. Engine failure, whatever it is. Lap 10, they had the safety car at lap 8. Tsunoda got out the car. I'm thinking, what, you getting out the car? If you would have saw the car where it was, I thought you get out the car, man. Just stay where you are, man. Stay where you are. Starts coming out the car. It's gonna start running up. I think it looked like at one point he was gonna run back to the garage. And I know he probably could have because he wasn't that far. It looked like he was gonna jump out and start running down the pit straight. And then he went back in his car. He took off his wheel, put his wheel back, and he looked like he didn't know what he was doing. That's what it looked like to me. But eventually the safety car ended lap 10. So, as soon as the safety car ended, I had a time penalty. So, I think he got a 5-second time penalty. I think it was, I don't know who it was, you know what, someone got a 5-second time penalty. And that was it. He had to spend it in the pits. I think it might have been Gasly. Yeah, it was Gasly. 5-second time penalty. So lap 19, Gasly pits. He comes into the pits. He served his 5-second time penalty. And for his car was out of position at the beginning of the race. So we got his 5-second time penalty. Right? So he put the medium tyres. He come out. So Gasly having a solid race at the beginning. Obviously, his race got compromised by the 5-second time penalty. But he still had a solid race. Lap 22, Alonso pits and Vettel. Both pit at the same time, medium tyres. They're having a little battle, they are. The last race that was at in Portugal, there was having a little mini battle. Old rivalries, man. Alonso and Vettel. Both having their little mini battle. Lap 22, they both pit at the same time. Lap 24, 2.7, Bottas comes into the pit. Decent pit by Bottas this time, by Mercedes. And Ocon also pitted as well, and Leclerc all putting on the medium tyres. So the strategy today was some was going with the softer medium, some were just doing medium. Mercedes was all medium, well Lewis was all medium, but Bottas, he had the soft on, which I'll get into later on. Lap 24, Max was on his arse, DRS. Max arse was flickering. Lewis Hamilton had the DRS, and he was on his arse. It was very, because I thought, listen, Lewis at one time he was like a second and a half behind him, and he was sitting there comfortably, okay, and he was on his arse. So basically, what happened is when he got to lap 24, he was like just about to pass him, and Max dived into the pits, and he pitted. He went into the pits, Max, at lap 24. And they got a 4-second. He was in the pits for 4 seconds. Now, 4 seconds today, by anybody's standards, right, is terrible. But for Red Bull, 4 seconds is horrendous. Horrendous. This is Red Bull. They are the best pit in Formula 1. By far. By far. And I'll admit that. But today, there wasn't. 4 seconds pit for Max Verstappen. It cost him a bit. I still think he would have lost the race, but it still cost him. He started getting frustrated. He started kicking in. So, it was 4.2 seconds. He put the medium tyres on. Lewis said straight after, when Max pitted, he said tyres were okay. Before Max pitted, he said the tyres are wearing out. But yeah. We know how Lewis is. If he says his tyres are shit, that means they're good. So basically, straight after Max pitted, and they knew he had the delay, the radio come on. Lewis said tyres are fine. So they kept Lewis out there 6 or 7 laps longer. Lewis. So lap 29, he pits, and 2.9 seconds. Lewis pits at lap 43. Now lap 29, he pits at 2.9 seconds, and kicked him out 6 laps longer than Max Verstappen on the same tyres. So Hamilton was a few seconds off Max Verstappen when he come out of the pits, but he managed to get the time back. And again, it was closing on Max, and he was closing on Max, and he was closing on Max again. This was like setting up to be the battle of the two guys, Mercedes, now Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen. You could see but I was thinking Lewis again, as he got the tyres, can he follow Max so closely? Because we all, like I said at the beginning of the video, Mercedes car is not good at following. Lap 29, he pits, okay? No, I told you that 2.9 seconds. So that was a decent pit by Mercedes. Lap 43, he was chasing Max Verstappen. All of a sudden, lap 43, he pits. Lewis Hamilton, lap 43, and caught Red Bull out. And as soon as he pitted, the first thing that come in my mind, just before Martin Brundle said it, Hungary 2019, the chase down. The one I said was my favourite race of that year. And a lot of the geek fans on the internet were saying, it was boring, but it was my favourite. And he got voted by the fans on Sky Sports F1 community that it was race of the year. And it was the chase down in 2019. If you haven't seen that race, go on the internet. It's probably on the internet somewhere. If you've got F1, the account, which I have, go on there. Hungary 2019, I watched that race between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. The way Lewis Hamilton went into the pits and he had to gain all that time back after the pits. It was one of the best races. It was the best race of 2019, but it was one of the best races, top 20 races of all time, in my opinion. So lap 43 pits, and then what happens? He come out, and then Martin Brundle said it's like Hungary again. Max had the dry tyres that he put on lap 24. So he only pitted the once by this time. Lewis pitted twice. So Lewis had some nice fresh medium tyres. He come out, he had I think he was about over 15 seconds behind Max Verstappen. But you knew he was going to get him. You knew he was going to get him. He started chasing him down and chasing him down. And Max Verstappen said, it's going to be hard to keep Lewis behind me. I knew then he won the race. And all the salty geeks were coming out. I saw on Twitter. I had my phone there next to me, and I saw the tweets coming out and said, lucky Lewis, lucky Lewis. You get in the fucking car, geeks. If you can get your fucking head in there. You get in the car, geeks, and try and if you're 15 seconds behind Max Verstappen, get in the Mercedes if you can get your big fat fucking ass in it. And you try and chase down Max Verstappen. But you can't. Can ya, geeks? All you do is sit on the sideline and criticise Lewis. That's all you do. Get used to it, geeks. I told you he wasn't retiring. Fact. 2. I told you that the Mercedes had the fastest car after Bahrain. 2. Fact. And 3. At that time, I said he's going to win the race. And he eventually chased down Max Verstappen. He had to pass Bottas though on lap 51, which I thought, Jesus Christ, I thought they was going to crash. But fair play to Bottas. Bottas don't want to give up track position. Why should he give up track position? Why should he move over for Lewis Hamilton? Good for Bottas. It showed some balls. Okay? It showed some balls. He said, you know what? Pass me. I'm not going to move over. So, lap 51, Bottas, Lewis passed Bottas. So basically, when Lewis picked on lap 43 and he come out, and lap 43, it took him 17 laps to chase him down. 17. And he finally got him on lap 60. He passed Max, and then lap 61, just like in Hungary. It was similar. It was a similar takeover to Hungary, just like Hungary. The lap after, Max pits, put the soft tyres on, and went for the fastest lap. And that was the end of the review. Lewis won. To all you salty geeks, Lewis Hamilton won. And that's the end of the review. So, you're going to hear the interviews. I've got the interviews coming after this review, which is going to be coming up now. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Follow all my channels, Twitch. And by the way, before I leave today, I'm actually affiliated now. And I'm going to thank all my fans that come on my Twitch channel. You follow me on Twitch. He's stuck in there with me. I've been doing this for a few years now. And now I'm finally affiliated. And my journey is still in its infant stage. I'm going to continue to stream. I'm going to continue to make videos on YouTube. Because I love it. I love doing it. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say. Thank you for all my audience on Twitch. Thank you for my audience on YouTube. Thanks for the positive comments. But I told you guys that the Mercedes had the fastest car after Bahrain. The 3 weeks they had off after Bahrain, and I went into Imola, even though Lewis came second because of his fault for going into the barrier. If you look previously, before the crash, he had a damaged floor and he was still making time. He caught up 3 seconds in about 4 laps of Max Verstappen on a damaged floor. And that's why I knew then they had the fastest car. But that's it. That's the end of the review. This is Solo P1 signing out. Interviews are coming next. I'll see you at 2 weeks in Monaco. It's going to be very interesting. I'll probably favour Mercedes as well, the way their car's designed. But that's it. Lewis Hamilton on the top. And yeah, it's over. Lewis Hamilton on top. And by the way, when I finish as well, I'm going to have the drivers. I'm going to have the drivers table up. And I'm also going to have, I'm going to have the drivers table up. And I'm going to have the chat. I'm going to do it now, actually. Get it up now. So we've got the final results for the drivers. We've got Lewis Hamilton, the win. Second, Max Verstappen. Third, Valtteri Bottas. Fourth, Charles Leclerc. Fifth place, Sergio Perez. Sixth place, Daniel Ricciardo. Seventh place, Carlos Sainz. Eighth place, Lando Norris. Ninth place, Esteban Ocon. 10th place, Pierre Gasly. 11th place, Lance Stroll. 12th place, Kimi Raikkonen. 13th place, Sebastian Vettel. 14th place, George Russell. 15th place, Antonio Giovinazzi. 16th place, Nicholas Latifi, Geek. And Alonso. 17th place. 18th place, Mick Schumacher. 19th place, Nikita Mazepin. And the DNF didn't finish, obviously, because of that incident, Yuki Tsunoda. So let's look at the teams. There's the teams. So we've got, for the teams, we have Mercedes on top, 141 points, so they're kind of extending that gap. Red Bull second with 112, McLaren in third place, 65. Nice little battle between Ferrari and McLaren. Fourth place Ferrari, 60 points, and fifth place Alpine, 15 points, and sixth place AlphaTauri with 10 points. Seventh place Aston Martin, 5 points, and 8th place Alfa Romeo with 0 points, and Williams and Haas again with 0 points. So that's me signing out. This is the end of the review. Like I said, interviews are coming next. Thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. All links will be in the description below. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.
P3 today for you, Valtteri. Another podium. What's the overriding emotion standing here now?
I was hoping for more, of course, and I think the main thing was I lost the place to Charles on lap 1. Around turn 3 I didn't quite expect him to be there, and I didn't see him, so then when I saw him it was too late, and then I was kind of a bit stuck behind him and losing quite a bit of time, so that compromised my race today, but I'm glad we could still make it back to the podium.
And talk about the strategy as well. You and Lewis opting for different strategies. The two stops certainly look the more successful of the two. It's brought you out to P3, but obviously behind your teammate.
It seemed like nobody managed to make their race plan. You know, honestly, we aimed to do one stop today, but there was no chance, so we had to kind of adjust things as we were going. So. And for me, one reason also for the stop at the end was to try and go for the fastest lap. But yeah, the tire wear was a bit higher in the medium today than we expected.
This is the record 16th podium with you, Max and Lewis. Is there frustration for you building, though, that you're not quite on that top step that we all know a racing driver like yourself would want to be?
Of course, you know, I'm not happy to be third. That's how it goes. So yeah, but. Again, I tried everything I could, and it just wasn't quite the day today. But I'll keep pushing. I know it will come.
Max, P2 for you today. It was a brilliant start, though, getting the better of Lewis on turn 1. Talk us through that to start with.
Yeah, start was good, the initial launch, and then I got Lewis into turn 1, and from there on I just tried to manage my tires on that first stint, but still, it seemed like we just had a bit worse degradation compared to them, so we pitted, and. It was a bit of a miscommunication in the pit stop. I thought I had to pit that lap, but clearly it wasn't that lap. But luckily the mechanics were still very quick to react with the tires. And then from there onwards on the mediums, they clearly had more pace. I mean, you can push a bit harder on these tires compared to the soft, and you could stay within 1 second, 1.2 seconds all the time. And basically then of course they had a free stop behind and they took it, and then from there onwards I was just a sitting duck to the end.
And hindsight's a wonderful thing, but do you feel perhaps you could have gone onto the softs a little earlier in the race and perhaps tried to chase Lewis down?
No, I mean once he made that second stop I knew that I could not pit again. Of course then he passed me in the end of the race, and then we were like, okay, let's go for the fast lap, which worked out this time. But yeah, it's tough, when you're up there in the front and the two Mercedes cars are behind you again, and they basically can choose their strategy.
and fans, media alike are absolutely loving the fight between you and Lewis Hamilton. Is it as much fun out there on the track as it is to watch?
It's all right, but I wish it was a bit closer because I felt a bit powerless today.
Well, Lewis, you got it done, your 98th win, but you did it the hard way, didn't you? A two-stop strategy in the end proved to be the best one. How stressful or fun was it out there for you?
It wasn't. It was just 100% fun. Just really enjoyed it. I thought the start was okay, but there was a lot of rubber on the right side, and he got a great start. And I tried to defend, but didn't work out. I think then after that, we just focused on trying to get as close as I could, which was very difficult, and make the tyres last at the same time. But I think tyre management was really nice. So I'm really proud of that, and fantastic effort with fantastic job by the team with strategy.
Your 5th consecutive win here at Spain as well. You clearly love this track and it loves you back.
Yeah, I tend to go really well here, and I seem to be able to. My balance today was spot on. It wasn't great for qualifying, but it was great for the race. And I think it's a race that I seem to be able to race really well at. For a track that's very hard to follow, I'm able to get. I was within 1.2 seconds of Max, even though he had clean air. So definitely has been a good racing ground for me, and I'm grateful for it.
The fans have been treated yet again to the most epic battle between you and Max Verstappen. How much are you enjoying this fight, this title fight?
I love it. I mean, honestly, I love it. I'm really enjoying the battle with him. We're learning a lot about one another and each other's cars, I'm sure, and the way we battle. And turn one's always exciting between us. So, but there's good respect there, and long may it continue.
And on to Monaco. One word on that.
Monaco, it's going to be a tough one.
Verstappen is struggling here. Hamilton is right on his tail. If you remember last time out, Hamilton passed Max Verstappen on his way to victory in Portugal. Is he going to do it again here in Spain 7 days later, getting showered in rubber from the rear of that Red Bull? Hamilton goes around the outside at turn 1, and the charge is complete. Hamilton, by making an extra stop, has been given the opportunity by Mercedes to go on and win the race, and he now leads on lap 60.
Surely Red Bull will now stop Verstappen, try to get a World Championship point for fastest lap. Defend, he's got a gap to Bottas if they want to do that. They've got nothing to lose now.
That's what we're talking about, Lewis. Nice work.
Super work.
And that's how it's affected the Drivers' Championship as well. If it stays as it is, Hamilton will have a 15-point lead going into round 5, which of course is Monaco in a couple of weeks' time. You won't want to miss that. Hamilton round the outside at turn 1, and Max Verstappen just had no way of defending.
Yeah, Mercedes had the flexibility to catch Red Bull out. They used it, and it worked.
It's his 6th Spanish Grand Prix win. It's his 5th in a row. It's 100 poles, and it's the checkered flag as the winner of the Spanish Grand Prix for Lewis Hamilton, who strengthens his grip then at the top of the table.
Get in there, Lewis. What a great drive, man. You made that strategy work beautifully.
Lewis, it's James. Well done, mate. Impressive drive.
Thanks, James. Great job with the strategy. Definitely have to work for it, but that's great. Absolutely great. Well done.
Yeah, Lewis, perfect combination. Great strategy and bold, and great driving. Congratulations.
Congrats, Toto. And to you.